don't know, is currently the fastest growing city in the country, and that was just published in Forbes magazine. And tonight we have a great presentation for you guys from our rep out there in Houston. His name is Richard Seller. He's with Better Home and Gardens, and he's worked a lot in new construction homes out there. He's been with KB Homes. He was working with them for about 5 years. And Richard's really good with communication and knows the market very, very well. So the presentation we're going to have for you guys tonight is going to be absolutely fantastic. Tonight we have a variety of properties. We have some great single-family homes available in Houston, Texas. We have some awesome multi-unit properties as well. And we have some great new construction homes there that actually have a great positive cash flow. So a lot of good inventory in the Houston, Texas market. And with us, this being one of the first webinars that we've been doing in Houston in about 5 years, we have a lot of attendees on the webinar tonight, which is very exciting. A lot of familiar faces on there and a lot of new people as well. So if you guys have questions, which I'm sure you will throughout the presentation, feel free to go over to the questions box. Type in your questions there. I'll answer your questions as best as possible, and if there's something in there I might not know, we'll leave your questions to the end for Richard to go over. So without any further ado, I would like to introduce you guys to our awesome rep out in Houston, Texas, Mr. Richard Seller.
Hi, how are you all doing? And it's a pleasure to be able to tell you all about Houston and all the exciting things going on over here. So let's go ahead and get started. And as David said, this is the fastest growing city in America, well, in 2014, and that was what Forbes put out recently. And moving along, we've got just a little map of Houston. This is my background information. I have a background in new construction. I started my real estate career with KB Home and then transitioned onto becoming a realtor. I personally own 2 investment properties in the Houston area, so I'm familiar with the investment landscape. I also work with other investors that are local investors in the Houston market, so I have experience working with local investors. And customer service is something that I really pride myself in. I make it my top priority. I understand that, you know, everyone has a lot of choices of who they can work with and who they want to work with, and one of the things I always feel sets me apart is customer service. So that's always my #1 priority. And why Houston? And I put this little Bill Clinton election campaign button from his '92 victory when he had "It's the economy, stupid," and I think that kind of says it clearly on why Houston. It is the economy. We certainly don't have the sandy beaches and warm weather year-round that California has. Or, well, we have warm weather, but it's often very humid. But you know, the economy is definitely what drives people to move to Houston, and definitely what drives you know, why you should invest in the Houston market. And I put down at the bottom, it's not just about oil, because it really isn't. Houston is a very diverse economy, and there's plenty more to Houston than just the oil industry, although that is a definite driver of our growth. So Houston is the 4th largest city in the United States. I believe we're the 5th largest metropolitan area. The fastest growing large city in the nation, and that's according to Forbes, and that was last year. The metropolitan population is 6,490,000, and that was the estimate from last year, so it's gone up a little bit since then. And this is an interesting statistic that came from the International Monetary Fund. If the Houston metropolitan area was an independent country, it would rank as the world's 27th largest economy. And we have a vibrant, diverse, and growing economy with high rental demand, especially as there's a lot of people moving to the area for jobs. So there's definitely a lot of demand for rentals. And we're also a magnet for business relocations. Not just in the oil sector, but across a wide array of industries, simply because Texas in particular, but also Houston, are very tax-friendly and business-friendly environments that a lot of businesses are finding attractive to settle in. Moving on to the business climate, we're actually the second only to New York City in the nation as far as the number of Fortune 500 companies that are headquartered in Houston, and that is with 26, and that's according to Forbes in 2014. Half of the Fortune 500 companies that are based in Texas are actually based in Houston. So of the 52 in Texas, 26 of them are in the Houston area. We have very low taxes, very little regulation. A lot of people complain about Houston's lack of zoning in the city, which to some is, they don't like it, but to business is great because there's very little that stops them from basically expanding and doing what they need to do. It's very easy to start a business in Houston. I was watching a documentary just a couple months ago, and it was talking about the ease of starting a business in Houston, and basically you can get a permit for a new business in less than a day when you file in the city of Houston, whereas in a lot of cities across the country it can take several months. So there's very little red tape, very easy to open small businesses. The city is home to the Texas Medical Center, which is actually the largest medical research complex in the world. A lot of people don't realize that that is in Houston, and that's a huge driver of our growth. Second to the oil industry, the medical field, especially medical research, is our second largest industry. The Houston Ship Channel and Port of Houston are big employment centers and also contribute to the growth. And of course, most people know that Houston is home to NASA, and there's a lot of aerospace and engineering companies that call Houston home as a result of NASA being a local to the Houston area. And all of this leads to a growing need for housing. So this is just something that came off the Forbes website. And basically, Houston, Texas was the fastest growing city of 2015. Well, I guess it's for their 2015 list, but it's from 2014 data. And so it just kind of shows you there the growth rate in population was 1.81% in 2014. The job growth rate was 4.5. Unemployment is 4.8, which is quite a bit below the national average. And the gross metro product growth was 3.52%. The median pay is $71,900, so that's pretty high. This is they ranked us. This is from the Association of Business Journals that do basically national rankings, and they ranked Houston number 5 in the nation in terms of best places for small businesses. And they kind of used several criteria for that, and you can kind of see that alongside here. The Texas Medical Center. This is basically a picture that has, this is the complex. You can see downtown Houston in the distance, but the Texas Medical Center is almost like its own little downtown. There's 49 world-class member institutions. A lot of those are cancer research hospitals. Houston is one of the places that if you have a life-threatening cancer, you want to come and get treatment because the medical care is excellent. I've worked with several clients in the last few months who are relocating to Houston who work in the medical field. One of the clients I worked with is actually he's going to be the Dean of Medicine at Baylor College of Medicine, which is one of the facilities in the Houston Medical Center. So basically, there's a lot of employment growth in the medical field in Houston, and that certainly adds to our overall employment picture. And then the Port of Houston, I was surprised when I read this statistic because I didn't know it, but we are ranked #1 U.S. port in foreign tonnage in 2014. We're the #2 ranked U.S. port in terms of total foreign cargo value. And basically, the Port Authority of Houston, they calculate that basically nearly 175,000 jobs are related to the Port of Houston. 54,000 are direct, and then the others are kind of like peripheral jobs that are there because of the Port of Houston. This is Houston's projected population. There's 3 different scenarios here that they came from. The IRS forecast was basically a computer model forecast they ran for the major metro areas in the United States. The TSDC scenarios, those are the Texas State Data Center, which basically does run statistical analysis for the state of Texas. And so those are their forecasts. But as you can see, all of the forecasts have us growing at a pretty reasonable pace. And whenever your population is growing, obviously that's good for the housing industry. And this was a very interesting statistic. Percentage of jobs recovered through April 2014. So this is of the jobs that each metro area lost during the 2008-2009 downturn. This is how many of those jobs they recovered. So for every 1 job that Houston lost for every 1 job we lost in 2008-2009, we have gained back 3 during the following 5 years. You can see Dallas is #2. They're just over 2 jobs for every 1. And then every other city, Washington, D.C. is the 3rd best, and they haven't even gained 2 for every 1 that they lost. So, so that just shows you the strength of the employment gains in Houston. And then this is the basically historical appreciation trend for Houston. It goes back to 1989, and you can kind of see the appreciation. Very few years where we didn't have positive appreciation. 95 slipped ever so slightly, and then even in 2008, when most of the country saw massive declines in housing prices, we only declined 1% in 2008. So more or less flat, and since then we've recovered quite nicely. So our house price appreciation, I think the average is 4.5%. So you're getting some nice appreciation here in Houston. This is just basically links that you can go to get more information on Houston. Houston.org/theeconomy. That's a great site. Just gives you a lot of good statistics and data regarding the Houston area. Forbes is a place that ranks a lot of the metropolitan areas, so it's a good place to go. And then this was just an article, this last one, regarding the Houston metro area that was from the Houston Chronicle. And this is just a satellite image of the Houston area, just kind of a cool little thing. And that encompasses the vast majority of the area. To the southeast, down at the far right-hand corner is where Galveston is. It's a little bit off the map. You can't really see that. And then the Woodlands and Conroe are due north off of the map. But those are really the only 2 parts of the area that aren't on this map. And so moving on to single-family residences. So these are properties that we've selected that offer good cash flow. This first one here is in a town called Humble, Texas, which is spelt humble, but here in southeast Texas we pronounce it Humble. I guess it's a Texas thing. And this is right by the international airport. It's about a 5 to 10-minute drive to the terminal building, so it's convenient. There's a lot of employment around the airport, so you have a lot of people that are, blue collar and middle income who work in the airport who need housing, and this one is leased through January of 2016. So it is a currently leased property. It's leased for $12.95 a month. It's relatively new, only 10 years old, and with that lease and the price, you would be looking at a monthly cash flow of $46 roughly a month, and basically your 15-year projected annual return on income is going to be 18.5%. So that's a great property, and it's always nice when you have something that you don't have to worry about renting it out because it's already rented. And these are just interior photos. It's got a nice big island in the kitchen. A lot of our newer homes in Houston are very open, kind of they flow the dining, living, and kitchen all together. The next one, this is a property that is in the Klein, Spring Klein area. It's right on the boundary between the town of Spring and town of Klein, which are two northern suburbs. This actually goes to Klein ISD, which is a excellent school district, one of the best in the area. And this would be the kind of tenant that would rent this would definitely be a white-collar, sort of middle to upper income worker. This is a gated neighborhood, which is always nice, and the HOA is only $700, which is very reasonable for a gated neighborhood. It's got a lot of nice upgrades in it, 4-bedroom, and the taxes are low. It is very close to the new Exxon headquarters campus, which is scheduled for completion this summer, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But that's going to be a huge employment center. So there's going to be lots of, well, they're already starting to relocate people into the area for that. So there's going to be quite a lot of demand in this particular part of Houston. And monthly cash flow, we're projecting the rent to be $1,800 based upon, this is a vacant property, but based upon comparable rentals from the last year, we're projecting $1,800. And with that, you're looking at a 15-year annual return on income of about 21%. And these are the interior photos. This one's got tile floors in most of the downstairs and in the wet areas. It's got a 2-story family room. I didn't put a picture of the backyard in here, but it's got a nice-sized backyard. Okay, moving on to multifamily properties. And this first one is in Rosenberg, Texas, which is southwest of Houston. It's a suburb that's really only just started to grow. It used to be kind of a small town on the outskirts, and now they're building quite a lot of new neighborhoods. It's very close to Sugar Land. It's kind of the next suburb down the highway from Sugar Land, which is probably, if not the wealthiest suburb in Houston, maybe the second or third. And it's just about finished building. There's not really any land left. So Rosenberg is kind of the next frontier, if you will. So this is a multifamily. This is right in the center of Rosenberg, old Rosenberg. So it's very close to shopping and things like that. And this property is leased. It's a duplex, and both units are leased. One of the units is a 3-bedroom, and one of the units is a 2-bedroom. And this one, the monthly cash flow is with the current lease is roughly $180, and annual return on income that we're projecting is 18.5%. And so those are these are some of the interior pictures of one of the units in this duplex. And then the next property, this one is one of my favorites. This one is a duplex in Tomball, Texas, which is up in that same Klein Spring area. Houston doesn't really have very large suburbs. There's just a lot of them, a lot of smaller ones. And this is going to be also very close to the new ExxonMobil headquarters that they're building. Tomball also has excellent schools. This particular one, the owner is actually living in one of the units, so that will be vacated once the property is sold, and then the other unit is rented out. The unit that's rented rents for $1,200, and from speaking to the listing agent, it sounds like the unit that the owner lives in has more in the way of upgrades. So basically, it will at least rent for $1,200, but it should rent for more perhaps. But we projected it based on both rent for $1,200, and so this one, the monthly cash flow is $223. Purchase price on this one is $299, and we're projecting an annual return on income of 19%. And these are the interior photos of the, I believe this is the unit that the owner lives in currently. And then to new construction homes. This is an exciting new neighborhood. This is Cumberland Crossing, and the builder is Express Homes, which is actually a subsidiary of D.R. Horton. And basically what they do is they build inventory homes. So they don't build any, from the ground up, kind of customize. Everything they build is inventory. So basically, and it all comes included. So the prices that I'm going to show you in a minute include a lot of features. They include granite countertops. They include blinds. They include double sinks. They include tile in all the wet areas. Some of the plans include a covered patio. They all have, pretty high ceilings. Some of them have two-story family rooms. So they're very nice homes. They're very affordable, and they're basically there's not going to be, there's no extra options that a lot of builders charge because it's all already included. So this is the map for Cumberland Crossing, which is the community. Now, this kind of gives you an idea of the northern Houston area. If you look down in the very bottom middle of the screen, you'll see George Bush International Airport, which is the main airport in Houston. Downtown is basically due south of George Bush International Airport by about 12, 13 miles. So this is about roughly 25 miles north of downtown, along what is going to be the Grand Parkway. Now, this map is older. It was at the time when this map was created, it was the proposed Grand Parkway. They're actually building it right now. It's Texas State Highway 99. It's going to be Houston's outer loop road, which is going to run all the way around the city at a radius of about 25 miles. So this community, now the road right now is under construction. It's scheduled to be finished at the end of this year. They're scheduling, it's supposed to be November of 2015. And the new Exxon headquarters, which you can see is in the top left of the map, that is scheduled for completion in the summer of 2015. Now that group of offices is massive, and Exxon is going to be consolidating 10,000 employees in this complex. 5,000 of them are coming from the Houston area. Basically, the entire Exxon workforce in the Houston area will be consolidated into this campus. So they're vacating. They have a couple office towers downtown and some other office buildings around the city that they're basically consolidating it all into this one complex. And then the other 5,000 workers are coming from out of state. So quite a few are coming from the Virginia, D.C. area. They're bringing some workers in from Ohio, bringing some workers down from Dallas, so that would be in-state, but out of the area. But it's going to be 10,000 people are going to be employed in this complex. So massive job creator, massive amount of employment, which is great for rentals. So Cumberland Crossing, which I've put, it's in the top, the very top of the map. I put a blue star where it is. Valley Ranch, which is next to it, is this map was actually put out by the developer of that community. That's a big master plan neighborhood that's going in that's a little bit more expensive than this neighborhood, but that entire area is being developed right now because of this road that's going in. So it's very exciting, a lot of new development in the area, and once the Grand Parkway opens, you'll be literally 5 to 10 minutes drive straight on the freeway to this new Exxon headquarters. So it's going to be perfect for renting to people working at that campus. So I'll move on. So this is the price sheet for the neighborhood. They build 8 plans. I've highlighted 3 of them for this presentation, but all 8 are available. Because they're only building inventory, what they do is they're always, what the sales rep has told me is that they've always got at least one of every plan available. And because they're everything's included, the price is pretty much what you see here. Now, the only thing that would increase that price is if you were on a larger lot, so like a cul-de-sac lot or a corner lot, something like that. But the vast majority of the homes that they have available are these prices here. And as I said, all of these have granite. All of them have tile in the wet areas. All of them have high ceilings. All of them have double sinks in the master bath. They're all 4-bedroom, all 2.5 baths for the 2 stories, and all 2 baths for the 1 stories. So I'll give you an example of how some of these are going to cash flow. So this is the Plan 1980, which is the 1 story that I chose to highlight. I picked this one because I felt like it would rent the best because it's got 4 bedrooms and a study up at the front, which is nice, whereas the other 3 all were just 4-bedroom, but they didn't have that extra bonus room. And you get 2 elevations to choose from. The one that's slightly more expensive, they're about 1,000 to 2,000 more, is the one with the stone on the front. The base elevation is the one that just is all brick. And so this is an example of the cash flow on the property. So this one has the lowest cash flow of the 3, probably because the spread to get the larger homes is actually not that expensive. So this one here is at $179, whereas the 2 bigger ones that I'm going to show you are in the 190s, and they'll rent for more because they're quite a lot larger. So to me, it makes more sense to go with the 2 stories unless you're just partial to a 1-story. But this one basically at the $179,990 price, you'll be looking at a monthly cash flow of $15, and your 15-year annual return on income with the appreciation projected is 21%. So moving to the 2 stories. So this is the 2325 plan, and this is a beautiful plan. I've taken pictures of all of them. I haven't put them up on the PowerPoint, but I'm going to put them up on the website. And this has a 2-story family and dining room, so it's open to below from the game room above. You've got 3 bedrooms up with a game room. Master bedroom is down, master bath, and walk-in closet. And then you also have a study in this one up at the front, which has its own closet, and it's next to the powder bathroom. So you could even use that as a 5th bedroom. So it's sort of like a 4-5 bedroom. This one, now, and one thing I will say, because I've talked to a lot of people that come from out of state, And it seems out of state that the preference is often master bedroom up for whatever reason. In Houston and Texas in general, it's the opposite. Master bedroom down is definitely popular. When I worked for KB Home, when I was selling new homes, we rarely sold a two-story with the master bedroom up. Everyone wanted the master bedroom down. So my recommendation whenever you're purchasing a two-story in Houston, if you want to rent it for top dollar, it's definitely make sure that master bedroom is downstairs, because that is 100% what the market wants. There's very few people that want something different. So moving on to the cash flow. So this one is for the H elevation, which is the one that's brick, not stone. It's $192,990. And this one, the rent we're projecting at $1,800. There were two comps in this neighborhood from just a few months back that were also new homes that were, this is a new product line they just started building. So their old product line, they had a comparable home that was 2,250 square feet. So slightly smaller. I don't feel like it was as nice a home. Those two, they had two of those rent last year, and they rented for $1,795 each. So I think $1,800 is conservative on this one, but we should be able to get that. So renting at $1,800, you're looking at a monthly cash flow of approximately $83. And you're looking at a 15-year annual return on income of about 23%. And then the larger plan, this is the 2666 plan. Now this is a 5-bedroom, and you've got 4 upstairs with a game room, and your master is down. The master closet in this one is almost the size of another bedroom. It's very impressive, and that's another thing that I have found really sells homes both to tenants and to buyers is that huge master closet. It kind of gives you that wow factor, and so this house definitely has that. It's got the 5th bedroom, so that definitely will get you a little bit more on the rent. And so moving to the cash flow on this one we're projecting renting at $2,000 a month, which price, let me go back, which price per square foot wise, this neighborhood is leasing roughly at about 80 cents a foot. 80 cents a foot would have this property up probably closer to $2,150, but obviously as you get bigger, you don't get as much bang for your buck. So trying to be conservative, and not over project these rents. I feel like $2,000 is a fair price that you could get rental wise for this. Basically, so the price on this is $199. And you're looking at a monthly cash flow of $195, and a 15-year annual return of income projected at about 25%, which you really can't beat that. So this one is, if I were looking for a property right now, this would be one that I would be definitely very interested in, because the cash flow that you'll get on this particular property. You really can't beat the bang for your buck. One other thing I do want to mention that I've forgotten to mention, the builder is going to pay $5,000 closing cost credit if you use their lender. So basically, the closing costs will be negligible. I've put them in this example. They were it was projecting at about $6,000. With that $5,000, you're looking at closing costs of roughly $1,000. So that's definitely helping, take down that cash out of pocket. And then this is AIM Realty Management, who are the preferred property management for the Houston area. Several reasons that this is a property management group that that I am comfortable referring. They've been in business for over 30 years. They're actually the largest leasing agent in the Houston MLS. So they lease more homes than any other leasing agent. They've been in business for a long time. The management fee is only 6% of the rent. Typically, it's in Houston. Typically, it's 8%. You can see it as high as 10%, although normally you don't see it that high. But these guys actually do it for 6%, which is definitely better than most of the people in Houston and better than a lot of markets. And then the rent is, the leasing fee is 1 month's rent, which is standard, which they'll take half of that and then they'll advertise the other half to the buyer's agent. Houston, in particular, is a very realtor-friendly market. Most clients will have realtors. So most of the people that you lease the houses to will probably come to you via a realtor. If you do go to sell the house in the future, I would say that probably over 95% of the buyers are working with real estate agents. So it definitely pays to advertise the property on the MLS and to offer a good commission for the real estate agent, which is what the 1 month's rent leasing fee will cover. And then the preferred lender this is for the whole of Texas actually is Reed Hazard, and he's done a lot of properties for Marshall Reddick in Texas, and does an excellent job for us. And now I'm going to hand it back over to David and let him finish up.
Thank you so much, Richard, and great presentation. We really appreciate you coming on here. I know it's a little late over there, so we definitely appreciate it. Oh, good, very good. Just want to let everyone know that these homes here in Houston, Texas, may not have the highest cash flow, but this is very much an appreciating market. It's the fastest growing city in the country, so definitely keep that in mind, that these properties not only have that positive cash flow, but this particular market is for appreciation. So that's a huge thing. And guys, my contact info is right there on the screen. There's my direct line and then my email. I'm available by both. So if you guys have any other further questions, if you want more information on any of the properties that we had on the presentation tonight, please feel free to reach out to me. You can give me a call. I will be here in the office for the next few hours, answering phone calls, answering emails. So feel free to reach out, and I'll be sure to get you that information and get you connected with Richard as soon as possible. I just want to thank all of you guys for coming on the webinar tonight. Hope everyone has an awesome night, and I look forward to chatting with each and every one of you. Thanks again, Richard. Have a good one, guys.
Thanks.